Anderson, and the voice of the Vols, John Ward. The Kickoff Call-In Show, sponsored by your local Farmers Co-op, providing quality products for everyone. Go Co-op. By Crystal Respirant. If you're morning from Columbia, as South Carolina tries to break a streak, Tennessee tries to keep a streak. The Gamecocks and Volunteers are at opposite ends of the Southeastern Conference Eastern Division. South Carolina 0-6 at the bottom. Tennessee 4-0 at the top. Carolina lost its 7th straight game this season last Saturday at Vanderbilt, 17-14. Tennessee won its 6th straight last Saturday, beating Alabama 35-18 in Knoxville. You're listening to your show, the Kickoff Call-In Show. We invite you to telephone right now with comments and questions. Down to your left as they start the 2001 entrance call for the South Carolina Gamecocks. We would estimate 10 to 12,000 Tennessee fans are here, and wherever or whenever the Volunteers play, you can expect the cheers and the blur of the orange and white shakers to fill the air as Tennessee in white comes racing onto the field down below. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee. See, it's South Carolina. Bill Anderson, the keys to success for each team.
Well, I think obviously South Carolina's got to protect the ball more and not turn it over so much. Tennessee's got to just stay focused on what they've got to do, play deep, a good solid defense, and keep the enthusiasm up there. Tennessee, obviously, I think John has more depth and more talent than South Carolina, so they've got the edge in all that department. They just got to keep it focused.
Right now, let's take 10-second station identification. This is the Vol Network. South Carolina. This is John Ward and Bill Anderson to send you the play-by-play with your Vol Network staff. Statistics, Russ Webb, spotter, Tom Mattingly. Engineer, Tim Berry. Scoreboard host, Randy Smith, John Wilkerson. Game reporter, Jeff Jacoby. Game producer, Glenn Paxton. Studio producer, Dave Jeffrey. Program engineers, T. Edwards, Brian Tatum, Kenny Fuller. Systems controller, Ryan Kilpatrick. Stage manager, Ellen Long Liston. General manager, Edwin Husker. Marketing, Steve Early. Coordinator, Mindy Matson. Program staff, Brent Hubbs, Bobby Rader, Harvey, Leonard Harvey, Joe Simon. Personal support staff, S.D. Hoadley, Jody Schneitman, Jennifer Montgomery. Well, South Carolina wins the toss, elects to receive. Tennessee will kick off, defending to go to your right, the South goal. And Tennessee clad in white with orange numerals, and the South Carolina colors are garnet and black. They have black jerseys with white numerals. And here's the kick, and this is Hall driving it 4 yards deep in the end zone, and Williams will not return this one. Instead, it will be a touchback, and so South Carolina goes on offense, first down and 10 at the 20-yard line. Up front, Marshall, Jones, Nesbitt, Rivers, Page, four of those freshmen in the offensive line. The quarterback, Anthony Wright, 117 of 216 for 1,541 yards, and he has rushed 62 times, net 10. So here comes Carolina to the line with Hambrick as the tailback. Flankers left and right, Tennessee in a four-man front. Up under the center is Wright. Wright gives off at the delay to Hambrick. Hambrick with running room, comes vaulting through the left side of the line. Good blocking on the left side as he moves past the 25 to the 26. Before Al Wilson, the middle linebacker, makes the tackle. The quick opening play goes this time to the Hambrick, who bangs the left side, and this time Tennessee plugs the gap with South Carolinian Darwin Walker for Tennessee from Walterboro, who has just made his 26th stop of the year. No gain on the play, so it'll be third down, still 4. And here comes the receiving corps racing out onto the field, and Boo Williams, who is actually a tailback but has caught 18 passes, is one of those. Carolina will send two receivers to the right side, staying in the I formation against the four-man front. Linebackers may be blitzing, expecting the pass. Let's see. Here is Wright back to throw. Wright looking, Wright throwing downfield. The pass is going to be incomplete, and a penalty marker is thrown. The pass was intended for Jermaine Kelly, and the flag was thrown in the vicinity of Kelly making his cut. Motion will be Davis from right to left. Tennessee trails with him, and this is the give going to Hambrick, and Hambrick on a little delay comes up the center of the line, and just as Wright got rid of the football, he was banged, and a penalty marker flies there. And so
Tennessee, which sustained a call for holding on the previous play, may very well get another penalty right here. On the year, Tennessee has been penalized for a total.
Wright came out there, made the play fake, bootlegging as with the fake. He had the ball. The defender couldn't see. It was coming from his backside. He was faking to run with it, and he got hit.
So it's a 15-yard penalty, and here's Carolina in Tennessee territory. First down to 10 to go at the 49-yard line. No score. Ball is fumbled as Wright comes out of there with the ball, and what happens? Who has it? We'll wait and see. And we will tell you that the official says the ball has been recovered by the Big Orange wearing white. Al Wilson makes the recovery for Tennessee, and that means Tennessee once more sees South Carolina after two glorious breaks on penalties against.
That makes all the difference in the world. Now Tennessee, great field position.
The Volunteers had the ball at the Carolina 49-yard line. Up under the center is Martin as Tennessee gives the ball off to the tailback, and crunching forward, spinning and driving and darting his way for a gain of close to 6 yards will be Travis Stevens. He was tackled by Offing after moving the ball inside the Carolina 45-yard line. T. Martin at quarterback, 61 of 119 on the year in the air, 782 the total yardage, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Stevens, 42 carries for 232 yards to the moment. And Tennessee will have it second down, 4 yards to go. 2 receivers right to the wide side of the field in the I formation against the 5-man front. Now the slot man motions back to the near side as Martin dumps a pass out to him on the screen, pulls it under the 45 to the 40 to the 35, knocked out of bounds. As he drives inside the 35-yard line is Tennessee's Peerless Price. And so it will be for Tennessee a first down as Sullivan makes the tackle. But Tennessee sets it up, Bill, with that run to Stevens, and they screen to the near side, flooding the ball to Peerless Price.
Good play call and set up very well. Got a good block out there by his lead blockers too. Just a little short, quick screen out against the flow of the play.
Nothing to score. Tennessee has the ball at the 34-yard line of the Gamecocks, and the score, the time is 12:26 in the first quarter. Receivers left and right, 5-man front, man in motion from the inside. Give goes to the tailback, and that's Stevens, and there's nothing there, maybe a loss of a yard, as Stevens was met by Cecil Caldwell. Man in motion from the right to the left as Martin gives the ball off to Stevens, and Stevens up the middle, twists and turns his way, battling pretty much on his own inside the 30, a gain of close to 6 yards to the 28, and then Matt Masters is there to make the tackle. And so it will be third down upcoming for Tennessee. And a player shaken up, that being Travis Stevens, the sophomore from Clarksville, Tennessee at 5'9", 185, who took the blast. And so we've got a momentary timeout. Tennessee head coach Philip Fulmer's in his 7th year. His record 60-11. On defense, John Chavis, Dan Brooks, Steve Caldwell, Kevin Ramsey. On offense, David Cutcliffe, the coordinator, Mike Berry, Mark Bradley, Randy Sanders, Pat Washington. Operations, Condridge Holloway, as they continue to visit with the injured Travis Stevens. Graduate assistants, Kurt Roper, Steve Jameson, trainer Mike Rollo, John Christopherson, Chad Newman, strength John Stuckey, Chris Carlisle, Marion Hobby, Johnny Long, administrative assistant David Blackburn, equipment Roger Frazier and Max Parrott. For Carolina, the head coach is Brad Scott. Stevens up pretty much under his, well, definitely under his own power. A bit, took a shot, I guess, Bill.
Yeah, he did. It looked like, I think it was his ankle or something a little bit, John. He seems to be all right now. He's not favoring it too much going on.
On offense for Carolina, the man in motion will be Price from left to right. That's Martin rolling out that way. Pass is complete, and it is, I think, but it will be close. Peerless Price making the catch. He's rolled down very, very close to a first down by Kelvin Brooks. For a moment, it appeared that he would be able to veer and pick it up, and he has it first down. Nice effort by Price. Bill, I thought he was going to get it by 3 or 4 yards, but then a great stop was made.
Yeah, he got a good hit on him, knock him out of bounds. But good throw by T, and they just flooded the area over there, and he dumped it off to Price for enough to pick up the first down.
In a tailback now is Travis Henry for Tennessee for the injured Stevens. Henry, 52 carries, 250 yards this year. Tennessee first and 10 in a scoreless game. Again, a man in motion from right to left, and this will be Henry up the middle, and Henry turns his way for a gain of 2 before he is nailed just short of the 20-yard line by Cecil Caldwell. Tennessee, of course, began the year with Jamal Lewis at tailback, who in his career has gained 1,861 yards, but he was injured against Auburn in the second half of that game and is out for the season. So Tennessee went with Stevens. He got 107 yards in his first game after Lewis went out. And then Henry last week, 114 yards rushing. Tennessee second down, 8 yards to go. Nothing to score. As this will be Martin off play action looking into the end zone. The pass is a touchdown, Tennessee. Jermaine Copeland. Perfect route. Perfect throw. Perfect cut. Give him 6.
Man-for-man coverage got him burned back there, see? Copeland came all the way across the field. He ran it off the play action. He came from the backside, beat his man into the end zone.
And so Martin has thrown his 10th touchdown pass of the year. This one downfield is good for 21 yards in the TD. And here is Jeff Hall to attempt the extra point. Gregory will snap. Scott will hold. And Hall will kick. Did he make it? He made it. Costly South Carolina fumble. 49 yards, 7 plays, touchdown, 7-0 Bill.
Thing, John, that they've been doing, obviously, and big break for Tennessee. They had their momentum, was lost a little bit to South Carolina with the 2 big penalties, and then to have them do that on first down, that's a tough break for them.
Here's Hall kicking off. This one will be taken at the 1-yard line by Williams. They've got the wedge in front. He's out there to the 5, to the 10, and the wedge breaks down. And having a big part to do with that for Tennessee downfield covering was the unit led by Judd Granzow, who burst through that wedge of 5 or 6 players and nailed Williams short of the 20-yard line. And actually at the 17, Tennessee leads 7-0 as this will be Carolina putting the ball in play. And Anthony Wright, the senior from Vanceboro, North Carolina, puts Hambrick as the tailback. Tennessee 4-down lineman. The linebackers up tight as well. The pitch will go to Hambrick trying to get wide. Turns outside, and Tennessee trails and makes a stop after a gain of 2. Trying to get to the corner. Maybe not that much speed, because Tennessee, of course, has tremendous speed at its linebacker position. And Ron Green, the tackle who's come on in relief of Walker, was widening out to make the stop, but he simply, Bill, could not get to the corner.
Well, it's tough to get to the corner on this Tennessee defense, I'll tell you, Johnny. With the speed of the linebackers, everybody on the defensive unit, you have not seen many people getting to the corner on it.
Second down, 8. Wright faces a moving Tennessee. Here comes the blitz, and the Gibbs goes inside to Hambrick, and Hambrick is nailed for a loss of 2 by Corey Terry. And so Tennessee reacts so brilliantly there, Bill, as they're coming after Wright. He gives it off on a little delay, and then the running back is nailed for a loss of 2.
Well, the timing by the defense on that particular snap count was outstanding. They were there at the instant that ball moved, and in fact, I thought Tennessee might have been offsides, John, with no flags now.
3rd down and 10, Carolina trailing 7-0, and Wright for the first time goes into the shotgun. He's flanked by Hambrick and Neesmith. Tennessee brings people tight. White back to throw. They set the screen. The pass is received, and the running room on the far side. This is Neesmith, who breaks one tackle at the 20 to the 25 to the 30, up to the 35, and is finally tackled at the 37-yard line by Fred White. Gives it to Hambrick, and Hambrick is met by D'Angelo Lloyd as he tries left tackle. Maybe got a yard on the play, not much more than that. Tennessee leads by a score of 7-0 with 8:06 to go in the first quarter of the game. Key 3rd down play, a gain of 20 yards, as it was Wright out of the shotgun to Neesmith, and Neesmith, who made the catch behind the line of scrimmage, just able to break an arm tackle and skip upfield for the first down. 2nd down, still right at 10 yards to go. Tennessee's defense always shuttling around in motion. This will be back to the interior, the wide receiver, as White comes out, makes the pitch to the corner, and, well, simply cannot get there as the pitch went back to Hambrick, and Tennessee with Wayne Goodrich coming up from his quarterback position to make the stop. Again, the speed of Tennessee's defense takes away the corner, and there's really no gain on the play. So here's another 3rd down for Carolina. And on the year, Carolina in 3rd down tries has done very well, 47%. And they have their 3rd down conversion here in this game Of course, they fumbled the ball away, they being the Gamecocks, fumbled it away on first down, and Tennessee took it in to score. A 49-yard drive. Now, here goes Carolina back to the shotgun with Wright some 5 yards deep. Tennessee feigning the blitz. Here will be Wright with time. Pass across the middle is complete. Breaks one tackle. Fumbles the football. There's a scramble for it in the vicinity of the 47-yard line. And it has been recovered by Tennessee's Deon Grant. Grant recovers the fumble of the Volunteers. His first recovery. He has 2 interceptions. Minus 11 in turnovers for the Gamecocks. It can get pretty cold and throw. Quick pass pulled down for a gain by Jermaine Copeland, the touchdown maker. And this time he makes right at 6 yards before he's nailed by Kyrus Sullivan, the 5'8" senior quarterback from Woodbine, Georgia. So Martin checks off. He's now 4 of 4 in the air as Tennessee leads 7-0 with 6:29 to go in the first quarter of this Southeastern Conference game between competitors in the Eastern Division. Travis Henry, the tailback, as Tennessee go back to a straight eye on second down, right at 4 yards to go. Man in motion is Copeland from the near side to the far, and the give goes to Henry, and Henry is somersaulted down after a gain of maybe half a yard by the penetrating Cecil Caldwell. And so Henry lunges for a little, but Tennessee still has a lot to go on third down upcoming. South Carolina radio broadcasts are done by Charlie McAlexander with Tommy Suggs, Todd Ellis, and Steve Stewart. And we thank them, Bill Anderson, for a gift. You got a water pitcher.
And a flag.
Yes, I got a towel. I'm not wearing it. This will be Tennessee third down, about 4 yards to go. This is Martin to throw. Martin's pass, complete. It is a first down, Big Orange. As that was Peerless Price. This is 26th catch of the year of his career 112. And that time he went downfield, turned, there was the ball.
He just hooked in, got enough for the first down. What you got to do, and that's the only shot you got at it. T threw the ball low where there's no chance of interception. And he made a nice catch of it right on his shoelaces.
Spots the ball at the 33-yard line of Carolina. Tennessee leads 7-0. As the Vols have flankers left and right against the 5-man Carolina front. Now they go into 4-down linemen, bring a linebacker up on the left side. As this will be Martin, straight drops. Going to flip the ball out there to Henry, who juggles it and pulls it down, runs through one tackle. But actually, as he made the catch behind the line of scrimmage, he's able to get only about a yard, though the pass, his second reception of the year, is complete. It's the quickness of Harney, the freshman linebacker, getting out to make the stop on him. It's going to be second down and a short 10 to go.
Yeah, that play seemed to take a little bit too long. The ball was a little bit slow getting to him, I think, Johnny. And by the time he bobbled it a little bit, the linebacker was there.
So, fortunately, Tennessee leading the game by a score of 7-0. Up to the line they come, a little less than 10 to go. Against a 4-man front. 2 receivers to the left side this time. As Martin is going to keep the ball on a quarterback draw, and he is nailed behind the line by Earl Rochester. Looking. Martin being chased. Martin running, and he gets it back to the 34-yard line, where Rochester again, hawking him, makes the tackle. It's going to be 4th down long for Tennessee. As the Volunteers hand the ball, we'll wait till they finally spot. And this is Wright rolling out to the left side, throwing out of the end zone. The pass is dropped. That was Zola Davis making his cut to the sideline. He had the first down yardage up there at the 19-yard line. Just made the bobble.
Wright just took a shot, too. I'm not sure who it was from Tennessee. Just as he let that ball go, he got popped real good.
And so it will be second down upcoming. Over defending for Tennessee was Johnson on the play. And Wright was the man who, of course, from his own end zone, rifled that pass on target, but it was dropped. So it's second down and 10. Tennessee leads 7-0. The ball's in a 4-man front as Wright sizes it up. He's got one receiver wide to the left side. Wright with the long count. Wright gives the ball off inside to the fullback, and this is Neesmith crunching over left guard. He started at the 7. He ends up at the 7 and a foot. As Jeff Coleman, who's from Gaffney, South Carolina, makes the tackle for Tennessee. The ball's back to the starting 4. Ellis, Coleman, Darwin Walker, and Terry up front. Lloyd and Alexander have played. Green has played also as Tennessee continues, and Granzow as well, continues to rotate defensively up front. Key third down. To this point, Carolina 2 of 3. They bring Wright up under the center. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. Tennessee has the linebackers tucked in tight. Now they drop off as Wright sizes it up. Wright is fading to throw. From the end zone, pass out to the left flat is pulled down there at the 10. Up to the 12, to the 15, diving up to the 19-yard line will be the receiver on the play, who was Boo Williams. And Boo Williams is able to pick up the first down on that third down drive. It goes inside to Neesmith, and he is blasted, but he breaks that first tackle, twisting for a gain of 1.5 yards on the play. Fred White comes up from his safety position to apply the clinching stop. But Carolina, which trails 7-0, but Bill, again, has been the story of the season for this Gamecock team. They've done well. They have certainly outpossessed Tennessee. They've gained consistently, and then here comes the mistake.
Yeah, and that's the kind of year they've had, I think. Obviously against a lot of other people. They got some terrific athletes, big, strong guys, and they just keep making too many mistakes.
So it will be for Carolina second down right at 8 yards to go. And they have receivers left and right with Williams as the tailback against Tennessee, a four-man front. 7-0 the Volunteers lead, inside a minute to go. Wright on the delay. Goes to Williams, and Williams, just as he gets ready to make his cut, and really he had some room to roam to the right side, sort of stumbled and falls as he is pinned short of the 25-yard line by White and Thompson. Williams, a junior, has carried the ball 36 times for 172 yards, averaging just under 5 yards per try. And this will be Wright looking to throw. Downfield, it is deflected down, incomplete. Tennessee had some pressure on Wright. He took a lick just as he threw the ball. And this will be the handoff going inside to Boo Williams on something of a misdirection draw. And he counters to the left side, and he began to play at the... Now throws across the middle, incomplete. Slightly overthrown for the tight end Matthews, who, had he made the reception... It's down, the kick is in the air, and the kick this time is no good. Well, too bad, Carolina. 8 straight field goal tries, no good. Bring the ball off to Stevens, and he knifes through the left side of the line. There's not much there. Out to the 23-yard line, and he's met and stopped by Harney, the linebacker. Abraham, Johnson, Wilson, Caldwell up front. Setting up, set the screen. The screen goes to Price on the corner, and he is able to struggle forward for only a couple yards because South Carolina got its coverage well out there quickly with Kevin House initially there. And Peerless Price, though the pass is complete, picks up only 2 yards on the play. And so Tennessee, which leads 7-0, is faced with third down and long. And the balls will flood with receivers. Cedric Wilson, Price, and Copeland are in the lineup. Sean Bryson, who's made 12 catches this year, is there as a possible receiver. Tennessee third down right at 7 yards to go, leading 7-0, just outside the Volunteer 25-yard line. Martin straight drop, looking across the middle. Pass is complete. Pulled down at the 35. Shoots fake to the 40, to the 45, to the 50, to the 45. This will be Cedric Wilson of Memphis, Tennessee. Put a brilliant move on the defender. Escaped. Finally is chased down by Ray Green, but he runs the pattern. He only made 6 catches last week against Alabama. Bill, a big one.
Yeah, another big play by Cedric John, and a nice move. Big thing, though, T. Martin sat in there, hit him right in the numbers with it, and he did a good job with it after he got it, though.
31 yards on the pass, and now Martin is 8 of 8 for 81 yards, and Tennessee has the ball in Carolina territory, leading 7-0. To the line, Tennessee tucks Copeland as the wide receiver into the boundary. A little delay, goes in there to Stevens, flashing through the left side. Skips as he momentarily breaks open down to the 40. Stumbles as he is tipped by Ray Green with a shoestring tackle, and he just sort of falls forward inside the 35 to the 33. Had he not stumbled, Bill, clear sailing.
No question about it. Had a blocker out there on the cornerback, a white shirt on the cornerback, had him blocked. That was touchdown if he could have kept his balance.
Outstanding defensive play by Carolina to thwart it. Tennessee, through the air, has opened up the running game, and the Volunteers leading 7-0 will have it second down, less than a yard to go. Waist down, maybe, but Tennessee lines up with 2 tight ends in the football game. Man in motion from right to left, as looking it over will be Martin. Martin for Tennessee gives inside. Stevens stutter stepping. No, a pass! What a play! I completely lost the ball because, Bill, I said they're not going to go for the waist down. Instead, they did. The pass thrown downfield, complete. That's Peerless Price, who makes the catch at the 10. He ends up at the 6-yard line in the arms of Sullivan. I'll be perfectly honest. I followed Stevens. I thought he had the first down. He didn't have the ball.
Well, you've seen him do it that so many times, John. I can understand why that is, but what a great time to throw the ball when you've got second and real short yardage like that. Put that fake in there. You can make some big things happen.
The second consecutive 31-yard completion by Martin to Price, and Tennessee has it first down and goal, leading 7-0. So, man in motion left to right. Martin hands the ball off and scrambling forward for a gain of about a yard on the play is Travis Stevens. Andre Offing is there to make the tackle on him, as Abraham, Johnson, Wilson, and Marsters are up front. And Tennessee's going to have it second down and goal, leading 7-0. That was just a beautifully executed pass play. And Martin now, Bill, is 9 of 9 for 107.
Yeah, well, he's throwing the ball real sharp today. He's been right on the money with it.
Tennessee having trouble rushing, however. The Volunteers will come to the line in the I formation. Wide to the right comes Copeland. Tennessee now will send a man in motion to the near side as Tennessee's going to run with Stevens. He's got the ball at the 5, to the 4, to the 3, down to the 2, decision time. It was Edwards, the freshman, making the tackle there on Travis Stevens as the Volunteers sent the man in motion to the right, and then he became a blocker as Tennessee just overloaded and followed behind the blocking of the fullback Bryson, and also Bartholomew is there to help out. But Tennessee has a way to go, and the Volunteers, with 9:32 in the first half, will be asking for a timeout. The Vols lead 7-0. We'll take a break by telling you with timeout the score. Tennessee 7, South Carolina nothing. Will hand the ball throwing into the end zone. Give it to him. Cedric Wilson wide open as Barton starts to the right. Wilson goes speeding to the left. Nobody within 5 yards. And Tennessee's T. Martin hits his second TD pass of the game, his 11th of the year.
They started. It most looked like he was going to go to the right. Cedric just come out there, beat the safety. He made a good move inside and out in the flat, wide open.
9:27 to go as Tennessee marches downfield to score on 2 big throws by T. Martin. The extra point by Hall is in the air. And the extra point by Hall is good. He's now 22 of 22 on the year in PATs, and the Volunteers widen the gap over South Carolina. South Carolina 14-0. We'll take a break for your Vol Network station. Back in just a moment. Tennessee leads by a score of 14-0. 8 plays, 78 yards, 4 minutes and a second in the drive. 4 of 4 in the air for Martin for 61 yards, throwing all kinds of passes, going deep, then going off the play action fake, perfectly on target to Price. Then the touchdown, Bill Anderson. He's 10 for 10.
He's hot. He's been getting better every week. They've been letting him do a little bit more every week too, John. And I think he's throwing the ball today like I think everybody was hoping that he would be able to throw the ball. He really looks sharp, right on the money, hitting them right in the numbers. They can't hardly keep from catching him.
Here's the kickoff coming downfield into the wind by Hall. Will be received by Williams at the 2. Up to the 5, to the 10. Oh, he is blasted as he gets to the 17-yard line. As Tennessee's kickoff coverage is just superior in this game. That's Alexander, who was there to make the tackle this time for the Volunteers. And so, for yet another time, Carolina puts the ball in play in this possession inside its 20-yard line. Thus far at the 20, at the 17, at the 7, now at the 18-yard line. The quarterback will be Phil Petty, 6'3", 193 freshman from Boiling Springs, South Carolina, replacing Wright. He puts his team in the I formation. The pitch goes back there to Boo Williams, trying the right side of the line. And he gets a little hole as he wedges from the 18, 17-yard line forward, maybe to the 20. And he is met there by Jeff Coleman. For Tennessee, his 22nd tackle of the year. Spot the ball at the, well, it's at the 21-yard line. So it'll be second down and, well, 7 yards. Less, actually. As into the game comes Zola Davis as a receiver for Carolina. He'll be split to the left side, and Kelly is split right. Petty on the year, 25 of 58 in the air. 4 interceptions. Petty looks it over. Gives it off inside to Williams. Great move by Williams. Breaks to the outside. Turns on the speed. And this is Williams up there to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, to the 45, to the 50. Down to the 45, to the Tennessee 40. He is chased down by Deion Grant. But Boo Williams on a quick opening play explodes to the right side. The handoff this time goes inside to the fullback, and that will be the freshman Neesmith, and he is met and stopped and dropped for a loss by big Sean Ellis. Like Coleman and Walker from South Carolina, he from Anderson. And Ellis, of course, who has been once this year an SEC Defensive Player of the Week. As for the Volunteers, has been Deion Grant as well. In fact, Tennessee's had 3 players. Al Wilson was a Player of the Week for the conference, and it's going to be second down in right at 11.5 yards to go. Petty puts his team in the I formation. Hambrick has replaced Williams, and this is Petty on the option coming to the near side. He is dropped. And here comes Dominique Stevenson. He is from Gaffney, South Carolina, one of Tennessee's premier running backs, except Bill. He's a linebacker.
I tell you what, he's got some quickness. He came across there, the quarterback, he was all over him before he had an opportunity to even think about pitching.
On the play, penalty marker.
Offense, outside receiver, never got set. Penalty is declined. It's third down.
So Tennessee, of course, elects to take a loss, which will be all the way back to the Tennessee 47-yard line, closer to the 48, needing the 20, well, make it the 30-yard line and a football length for the first. Hambrick stays at tailback. He on the year has received 2 passes. And also into the game will come Ben Fleming, a sure-handed receiver who will be skipping wide to the left side. Petty goes into the shotgun. And then as he does, Carolina sees that play clock ticking away, and so they'll be asking for a timeout. Low snap back to throw. Petty being pressured, step up, throws downfield. The pass is complete, and it's yanked down at the Tennessee 25-yard line by Ben Fleming, and that will be enough for a first down, South Carolina. He had time as Tennessee came with a 4-man rush, and Fleming ran a curl. With Hambrick to the right side, he's got a first down as he refused to be stopped and then twists his way forward past the 15 to the 14-yard line, where he is tackled by Ron Green. It's first down and 10 inside Tennessee's 15-yard line. The Vols lead 14-0 with 5:34 to go in the first half, and basically, Bill, South Carolina offensively has, well, not dominated, but certainly has been competitive.
No question about that. They've moved the ball up and down the field here. You know, looking at some of the games they've lost by 3, 4, 5 points, and having not made a field goal in the last 8 tries, a kicker can make a big difference. It made a difference in this ball game, really, and they've got it up and down the field, but can't get it in for put the points on the board.
Stevenson being helped, but pretty much under his own strength, is moving to the far sideline, and it will be South Carolina with the ball, and it's at the 14-yard line of the Volunteers. Carolina has 9 first downs, Tennessee 6 to this point, outgaining Tennessee 173 to 139. The quarterback is Petty. Petty back to throw. Pass across the middle is broken up. It was intended for Jamal Kennedy, Kelly, I should say, as he slants across, and Dwayne Goodrich makes the fine move to swat the ball down incomplete.
He really did. That was an exceptional move by Goodrich to get to that ball. That was a good fake, is well designed. They had single coverage out there with a lot of field in, made the move to the other side. The quarterback faked it going out the other way. Boom, he was open. Goodrich recovered in time to knock it down.
And so it will be for South Carolina, second down and 10 at the 14-yard line. This again, the delay handoff goes, and crunching over the right side of the line and blasting forward is 221-pound Troy Hambrick, who starts at the 14 and ends up at the 10, and here it is, third down again. Westmoreland teams up with Green on the tackle. Thompson out of the lineup for the Volunteers as Granzow is playing a linebacker along with Westmoreland and Wilson. And so here's Carolina. Big play. They trail 14-0. They need 6 yards for the first down. Third down and 6. Running back split. Handoff goes left side, knifing through and fighting his way down to the 7-yard line is Neesmith. He needed, as we mentioned, the 4. And so Carolina trails by 14, and having missed 8 field goals in a row, what will be the decision? Carolina is going to try to break the streak, ostensibly, because into the game will come Chet Tucker. Holmes will snap. Sides will kick, as this will be about a 23-yard field goal try, right equidistant between the side boundaries. Tucker, the freshman. Tennessee leads 14-0, and Carolina will go for the field goal. The kick is in the air, and it is blocked. Tennessee then scampers after the football, picks it up, and comes to the near side. And the Volunteers are knocked out of bounds at the 7 or 8 yard line after picking up the blocked field goal. And Edmonds is the man who had the football. I'm not sure who blocked it, as Tennessee came from the left side with the pressure. And so the crowd reacts, Bill, as the field goal just doesn't work here.
South Carolina fans were booing when they went out.
Sends a man in motion and gives the ball off inside to the fullback. Bryson breaks one tackle, not the second. That's actually Philip Crosby is the fullback, not Bryson. And this is Crosby moving from the 7-yard line out to the 12. And that was a good effort by Crosby, who is a junior, and John Abraham is there to make the tackle on him. So Tennessee will line it up with second down, and we'll call it about 6 yards, maybe a little more, as the Volunteers blocked South Carolina's field goal attempt, put the ball in play at the line at that point. And now Tennessee lines it up with Martin sending a man in motion from right to left again. Back to throw, looking, here's the pass. It is caught by Price, who makes the catch and is then shoved out of bounds short of the first down by Sullivan. And the ball is moved out to right at the 14-yard line. That little safe pass, Bill, which might be a choice on third down as well.
Well, they got a little bit. Have to get a little bit more than that. He only picked up a couple of yards on that, if that much. Johnny's got about 3 or 4 here to go, so he's going to have to get a little bit deeper on it, but he had single coverage out there.
So Tennessee comes up on third down and 3 1/2 yards to go, leading 14-0. Sending that man in motion again. Price is tucked to the near side. Martin gives the ball off inside to the tailback. Henry breaks one tackle. This is Henry, who has the football to the 20, to the 25. Runs into his own blocker at the 28-yard line. Ricochets off past the 30 and is finally nailed at the 34-yard line as Travis Henry picks up first down, Big Orange.
Oh, I don't know. He ran into the backside blocker over there, as you said, John. If you'd been able to get around him or get by him, the blocker couldn't get out of the way, and he just banged right into him and pretty much knocked him down. If had he been able to avoid him, that could have been a big play.
It was a 19-yard gain for first down, and Tennessee leading 14-0 comes to the line at the Volunteer 34-yard line. 2:19 to go in the first half of the game. Martin sends 2 receivers right, 1 left. Henry is the tailback, and this will be Martin looking. He wants to go deep, but will run instead, I think, to the near side. He's at the 30, to the 35, breaks the tackle to the 40, and just stumbles and scrambles forward to the 44-yard line, where he is pinned by Atkins. And it will be for Tennessee, thinking, Bill, I think, to go deep for the home run on that play. Instead, Martin keeps the ball, as he does so adroitly, and he picks up on the play right at 9 yards.
Yeah, he had a man open underneath there in the middle of the field, but he never could pick up on him. He was looking downfield. He wanted to go long. I think you're right.
Tennessee, second down short, waist down. Could be. I'll watch it closer this time. Got fooled the last. Martin hands the ball off, and this will be Henry, who blasts for the first down to stop the clock with the marking of the ball. And it will be Hutcherson who makes the tackle on Henry. And Tennessee quickly lines up without the huddle, going into what will be a 1 minute and 28 second drill. leading 14-0. Carolina taking its time getting off field. Now the clock will be wound as Tennessee's Martin. Straight drop, waiting, looking, throwing, man's there, pass complete, down to the 40, 35, down to the 30, near side, up into it as he gets to the 28-yard line, and once again it's Cedric Wilson who just time after time gets open, and that time Martin picked him up, and Tennessee continues to move. The clock stopped with the marking of the ball.
Well, the offensive passing game's coming alive. South Carolina's ganging up on the running game, John, and playing up in their type of linebackers.
Martin back on first down to throw, pass complete, pulled down at the 15, down to the 11-yard line goes Tennessee's Jermaine Copeland, who earlier had a touchdown, and Tennessee has another first down. Thus far, he's 13 of 13 in this football game. He being T. Martin. Tennessee lines without a huddle, leading 14-0. And then just as play begins to get underway, South Carolina says, stop it. Stop the bleeding right now. They ask for the timeout, Bill Anderson.
They're picking them apart back there. They're getting single coverage for the most part. Tennessee's receivers make some good moves. They're open. T. Martin's been right on the money. They've played the run extremely tough. But when you overload on one side of a portion of the game, you give up something on the other, and they're getting killed with the passing game.
Martin in this game, 13 of 13 for 153 yards. And the Volunteers have, I don't have the actual count. I had it at 128. And so that would be 29 seconds when Tennessee has marched for 9 for 3 for 26 and for 15, Bill, in 29 seconds.
That's moving the ball down the field. And, of course, they're playing a little bit soft.
Began with 3:57 to go in the first half at the Volunteer 8-yard line after the Big Orange had blocked a field goal attempt by South Carolina. Tennessee leads 14-0. The Volunteers 6-0 overall, 4-0 leading the Eastern Division of the Southeastern Conference. And the Volunteers will be playing the homecoming game on Saturday, a non-conference game against the University of Alabama, Birmingham, next week in Knoxville. First down, Tennessee. Spot the ball just outside the 12-yard line where it was put, and Tennessee will run with a crack up the middle, and Sean Bryson on a play trying to deceive South Carolina's defense punches forward for a couple of yards, and now Tennessee will use a timeout to stop the clock. With time left, 51 seconds, that's plenty. And Bryson, who on the year has averaged just under 10 yards per carry, gets about 2 on that one. And, Bill, that I assume is to maybe soften it up for the pass because there's not a lot of room down here to throw that football.
No, they'll have to hit something quick, but, probably will go there. But everybody's stepping in there pretty hard. Play in the run, South Carolina really is with their linebackers, and the defensive secondary is not getting much help from them underneath, and that's where Tennessee's been throwing, and then the receivers just taking the ball from there and running with it.
On the year, Carolina opened by beating Ball State 38-20, then 7 losses in a row to Georgia 17-3, Marshall 24-21, Mississippi State 38-0, Ole Miss 30-28, Kentucky 33-25, Arkansas 41-28 after Carolina led at halftime, and Vanderbilt 17-14. A lot of close football games, just unable to get over the just moving Bryson to the right. Martin out of the shotgun, waits for the snap. Looking into the end zone. Pass is complete for a touchdown. Peerless Price with a host of defenders. How in the world he came out of there with that oval, I do not know nor care. Touchdown, Big Orange. Martin, Bill Anderson on target. He's only 15 of 15.
What a day he's having. The receivers made a couple of pretty good catches for him too, John, but he's having an outstanding afternoon.
And so he has broken the record for consecutive passes. Let's see if Hall can make it 23 in a row with the extra point that is ending its way with 15 ticks to go in the first half. Tennessee marches 92 yards as T. Martin throws his 3rd touchdown of the day. He breaks the consecutive passes completed record set by Peyton Manning. He's now 15 of 15 in this football game, Bill Anderson, and the Volunteers And again, we say South Carolina has played outstanding football offensively, but they've just clogged at the end, and Tennessee leads 21-0.
Tennessee's playing sharp today. I tell you, the running game's been a little bit stymied, and that's because South Carolina's jumped up there and jumped on it and said to T. Martin and crew, you're going to have to beat us with the passing game, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Tennessee leads by a score of 21-0, and that was a 92-yard scoring drive for the Volunteers, and it began with 3:57 to go, and Tennessee had 1:28 to go near midfield, and how they used the clock so efficiently. Tennessee's playing well, so is South Carolina, as Tennessee will be kicking off, and that will be Boo Williams. He's a threat. He pulls it down 2 yards deep in the end zone. 5, 10, 15, 18. That's where he's tackled. And so Carolina has 9 seconds to come up with something. And Wright is going to fade and is going to go for the home run. Here it is downfield, and it will be played by Tennessee on what will be an interception by Dwayne Goodrich. 1 second to go, and Bill made a big interception.
Yeah, he did. Of course, he had beautiful coverage, but that was tremendous coverage and a great interception. He played that ball perfectly, had him all the way down the field, inside position, the whole 9 yards.
So Tennessee has 1 second to go, leading 21-0 here in this football game being played at Columbia, South Carolina. The Volunteers with 3 touchdowns scored on passes thrown by T. Martin. And the Vols have, I guess, a shot to go, Bill, the distance on this last play. Would that be the call, or would you knee it?
Well, they might as well. Why not? Get it downfield somewhere with a short 10 or 15-yard pass. Let the guy run for it.
Well, it's Martin up under the center. Receivers flooding the field, primarily to the left side, and Martin takes the drop. Here's the pass across the middle. It is complete, 16 in a row. But as Price makes the catch, he is immediately nailed at the Carolina 40-yard line by Karis Sullivan, and the first half comes to a close. We'll take a break right now at Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina, after telling you the score at the end of the first half. Tennessee 21, Carolina nothing. On a field goal attempt, Tennessee marches 92 yards, 10 plays, and the Volunteers score this time with a touchdown pass. It was a thing of beauty from Martin, and a great catch by Peerless Price, who for the Volunteers makes his 6th touchdown reception.
And Bill, as you look at it, there's only one thing you can start with, and that is T. Martin.
No question about that. 16 for 16, 185 yards, outstanding. I think South Carolina made up their mind they were going to stop the run, and they've done a pretty good job at that, and forced T. Martin to beat him with the pass. He's the defensive secondary for the South Carolina is not getting any help underneath. They've just killed him throwing the ball in there. Receivers are getting open, but the key to it all, the offensive line is giving him time to throw the ball, and he's been right on the money with it. They made a couple of pretty good catches, but an outstanding half for him.
And as far as defensively, Tennessee, again, coming up with a couple of big turnovers, but South Carolina has been able to convert some third downs. I'm sure they looked at halftime.
Yeah, it's an unusual half, really. You look at a football team, it comes out and they move. They've had quite a bit of offense. They've moved the ball up and down the field here, and they don't have any points. And at the same time, they didn't punt in the first half. So it's an unusual thing. They move the ball, get the field position, and then shoot themselves in the foot one way or the other.
Both teams are coming back out onto the field here at Williams-Brice Stadium. We'll be back with all the action of the second half, and we return in just a moment.
Here's the kick, relatively short. It will be an up-back making the reception at the 12 to the 15, cuts to the near side, 20, breaks the tackle, and is finally spun down as he gets to the 25-yard line, and that was Derek Edmonds, who the Tampa sophomore returns the ball, and it will be Tennessee going on offense up as they spun it to 25. I said Edmonds, a sophomore, obviously he's a junior. And it will be Tennessee going on offense. And the Volunteers lead by a score of 21-0 as sun shines down at Williams-Brice Stadium. The Vols will go into the I formation, ball on the left hash mark against a 5-man front. Man in motion, tailback is Henry. And the give this time is to Henry, who cuts right over tackle. Started at the 25, ends up at the 29-yard line as he just sort of slants his way forward, and Atkins, the linebacker, makes the tackle. Up front, Tennessee starting with Clifton, Hamilton, Riley, Coleman, Rito. The Vols have 3 wide receivers in the football game. Travis Henry is starting at tailback. He's alternated with Travis Stevens. The Volunteers really haven't gotten that much rushing. But conversely, they've been able to react with a passing of Martin, who was 16 of 16 in the first half. This will be Martin working out of the shotgun. Martin throws out here, pull down behind the line, breaking a tackle to the 30, to the 35, to the 40. Peerless Price to the 45-50, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Peerless Price. Tennessee set that up just absolutely beautifully. 17 for 17 to tie the SEC record of Stan White, and the touchdown, Bill, 72 yards.
Boy, that was the thing of beauty. It was only about, 5 or 6 yards deep when he caught it, and he just outran everybody.
Peerless Price scoring his 16th career touchdown, and here Tennessee leads 27-0, scoring with their first possession of the second half. The extra point by Jeff Hall splits them. We'll take a break for your Vol Radio Network station by telling you with 14 minutes and 1 second to go in the third quarter, the score, Tennessee 28, South Carolina nothing. At the 4, 5, 10, 15, 20. And so Williams returns, and Tennessee swarms him with Roger Alexander making his second tackle on kickoff coverage in the football game. And as they spot it, it will not be at the 20. Is that important? Not really that much, except for the fact, Bill, that except for one touchback, South Carolina has never put the ball in play on a kickoff return outside the 20.
Yeah, good coverage. The kicking teams have played well today.
Here comes South Carolina, trailing 28-0. Wright will be the quarterback against Tennessee's 6-man line into the I formation with Hambrick the tailback. Wright back to throw. Wright across the middle, pass incomplete. He's got some pressure as Tennessee had 4 people coming after him, and the pass was underthrown on the far side. Sean Ellis and Walker both in there as they come after him, and the pass downfield was far short of the intended receiver. It will be for Carolina, trailing 28-0, second down and 10 yards to go at its 19-yard line. Wright on the year, 117 of 216 coming into this game. He, in this contest, 6 of 11. There's been 1 pass intercepted, was not a factor at the end of the quarter, at the end of the second quarter. Tennessee brings a linebacker on the left side. Now they give him with a draw, they being South Carolina. And Tennessee, as they come blitzing through the left side, Carolina runs right into that hole and runs right into Granzow, who is there to make the tackle for a loss of 2 yards on the play, Bill.
Tennessee's down linemen and people up front are winning the battle pretty good against that offensive line of South Carolina. And Tennessee's defensive linemen are coming through there and just pushing the pocket back right in right space, and not much room to operate in there.
Here it is, third down for Carolina, trailing 28-0. They go to the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 right. They're 5 of 8 in third down tries in this football game. And on a long count, Wright waiting. Now he'll take a straight drop. Tennessee coming after him. The pass flown out of the flat is juggled and pulled down on a great reception, as widening out was Hambrick, who sort of volleyballed the ball around before he finally was able to pull it down at its 15, moves to the 20, up to the 25, and is tackled at the 28-yard line, where it will be for Carolina 4th down and 1. And the Carolina faithful, and a lot of them have left. I hate to tell you that, but they have. But they react on 4th and 1 at the 28-yard line, Bill, with a boo when they send the punting unit in.
Well, you know, they've got to kick it here.
And in the punt will be Courtney Levitt from Germantown, Tennessee. And deep for Tennessee is Eric Parker. As the punt by Levitt is away, he drills it to the near side. Parker takes it on a skip at the 32 to the 35 to the 40. Skips outside with an excellent return to the 46-yard line of Tennessee. 9th of the year, he is averaging right at 42 yards per try. And so it will be Tennessee, which in its first possession in the second half went 2 plays to score. The big one, of course, being the 72-yard touchdown pass that went from T. Martin to Peerless Price. It will be Travis Henry again at tailback against a 4-man front. As the Volunteers, Martin turns to check off at the line. And this time he gives to Henry, and Henry lunges for little of any yardage, as he was submarined by Atkins. And Henry, who in the football game had carried the ball 5 times now. been able to do it on the ground. Keep in mind, Tennessee has had this year 100-yard games virtually every week, but in this game, not so. It was Henry with 114 against Alabama, Stevens 107 against Georgia, after Jamal Lewis went out with the season-ending injury. Back to throw, Price, pass, is Martin. He throws it out here. It was intended and caught by Copeland as the screen sort of broke down. Sullivan and Johnson got there as Martin drifts back and flips the ball into the near flat. And as the screen pass was caught behind the line by Copeland, he was dropped there, needing to get the ball to the 44-yard line of South Carolina. South Carolina, 4 down linemen. They're dropping people back to defend against the apparent pass. And Tennessee's Martin is going to throw the ball downfield. It is complete, and the catch is made by a diving Jermaine Copeland with a sensational grab. And then he's able to rip forward for the first down and 10 to go as he carries Brooks some 3 yards with him. And Martin stays alive, and Copeland makes a fine catch.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Tennessee's offensive line, John, is doing an outstanding job of protecting him. He's just, for the most part, a little bit of play action here and there, but he's just dropping back and sitting there in the pocket. South Carolina can't get to him, and he's just waiting for people to get open.
Tennessee leading 28-0 first down at the 40-yard line of the Gamecocks. Little offset eye, a delay fake. Now back as the give goes to Henry, and Henry through the left side of the line. He breaks the tackle as he tops at the 40. This is Henry charging down there to the 35, turning to the 30, fighting to the 25-yard line. And Tennessee with a brilliant fake by Martin. The handoff going to Henry, and Henry comes knifing through the left side of the line and ends up with another first down on a pickup of 15 yards. And the Volunteers, who lead 28-0, will have it at the 25-yard line. And there's Henry, Bill.
Yeah, the offensive line of Tennessee's taking charge now pretty much. It knocks the big holes in him.
Clifton, Hamilton, Riley, Coleman, Rito up front for the Volunteers in the I formation. Carolina comes with a lot of people. Tennessee's going to run Henry to the corner, and Henry is met, then just bangs through the linebacker down to the 21-yard line. And also helping out was 5'8", 161-pound cornerback Sullivan. A mismatch there as Henry is at least 212. That's how he's listed. And that time with a block thrown by Will Bartholomew, he picks up 4 yards on the play. The Vols lead 28-0. It will be for Tennessee second down and 6 yards to go at the 21-yard line of the Gamecocks. The Volunteers serpentine from the huddle, sending 2 receivers to the right, 1 into the boundary left. Henry stays with the wingback Bartholomew to the left side, and this will be Martin straight drop. Gets some pressure, drops it out, pull down behind the line at the 20, down to the 15, needs a block, gets 1 to the 10, has the football at the 5, 4, 3, 2. He is stopped at the 1-foot line as Travis Henry just rolls behind the blocking on the right side and carries the ball after the reception of the pass down to the goal line, where Atkins stops him a football length, Bill, away from Pater.
Almost got it in there. Thought he was going to go in. He run into some of his blockers out there a little bit. Didn't use them maybe quite as well as he should have, but nevertheless, big 6-inch line.
It's been Henry for 15 for 4, and now for 20 yards on the pass reception. And the Volunteers will line up with the full house backfield as Crosby is there as a fullback. And this will be the handoff, and somersaulting down as a penalty marker flies. It will be Tennessee trying for the touchdown, but it may be negated because of an infraction, as the official will advise us.
Before the ball was snapped, movement by the offensive line, 5 yards.
So Tennessee's offensive line, which has dominated the play, particularly here in the second half, guilty of a miscue on that count. And so the Volunteers see the ball move from the 1-foot line back to the 5 and 1-foot line. And with Tennessee leading by a score of 28-0, the Volunteers will come with the same basic set. A full house with the wing to the wide side of the field left. Martin runs it back the other way and banging his way into the end zone to score. Sean Bryson. Just offensive dominance in the line for Tennessee, and that time it's big Cozy Coleman and Jarvis Rito on the right side, and Tennessee, which lined up with the power to the left, Bill, goes right back to the right side, and there goes Sean Bryson, the senior and captain, in to score.
Yeah, good speed, got some blocks out of those lead backs too. They just cleared a big hole there.
And so Tennessee now leads by a score of 34-0 with 8:38 to go in the third quarter. And here's Jeff Hall to attempt the extra point at Columbia, South Carolina. Snap down, kick in, and the kick is good. We'll take a break right now by telling you with 8:38 to go in the third quarter, the score is Tennessee 35, South Carolina nothing. Booms the kickoff some 8 yards deep into the end zone where it's retrieved by Williams, and it will be first down and 10 to go for Carolina at its 20-yard line. Coming into this game, Tennessee had 100-yard rushing games by Lewis against Syracuse 140, Houston 135, Auburn 140 in the game in which he was injured and was lost for the year. At Georgia, Stevens 107, Henry 114. In this game, it's the passing game. 20 of 20 for 291 yards, T. Martin. Here comes Carolina, trailing by 35. This is Wright up under the center. He's got 2 receivers to the left side. Tennessee rotating defensively as Wright hands the ball off, and just as the give is given, and the counter is cut back to the right side on the cut by Hambrick. There waiting for him is Judd Granzow. Tennessee, of course, in the offensive line, as Bill Anderson has mentioned, more or less dominating. Not the depth so much as just the execution, but on defense, Tennessee's defensive front includes players as they rotate so frequently. Ellis, Alexander, Lloyd, Coleman into the game, Ratliff, now Green, Walker, Terry, Granzow. A lot of people play for this Tennessee team on defense. And here comes South Carolina, trailing by 35, second down, about 11 yards to go. Again, Tennessee's defensive secondary always moving as Scott is changed that, spikes the man in motion, back to throw. This is Wright. Wright throws the ball to the far side, and he just threw it out of bounds. Pretty good decision, actually, because Neesmith was played man-to-man by Al Wilson, and so the pass goes over his head and out of bounds, second down.
Yeah, he really,
down, excuse me.
They've been getting good pressure on him. In fact, the down linemen have been pushing the offensive lineman of South Carolina back. He had a lot of room in the pocket, so when he's gotten out of the pocket, though, the coverage has still been, the pressure's still been there. Not that many sacks, but pressure's on him, and he's had to throw the ball a lot of times before he wants to.
On the year, Wright has been intercepted 7 times. He is 5 of 9 in third down conversions in this game. Tennessee brings the linebackers tight. This is Wright off play action, back to throw, pass out to the near side is caught. What a tackle. What a tackle in the open field by none other than Eric Westmoreland, the linebacker, on Neesmith. The pass was complete for -1, Bill.
Yeah, they had the screen set up, just a quick screen out there, and he played it, ran right through the blockers, got through the defenders, and was there to make the hit.
Eric Westmoreland, sophomore, Jasper, Tennessee. Levitt on the punt. Deep for Tennessee goes Parker. His return ignited Tennessee's scoring drive. The punt by Levitt again. Oh, he drills it. A beautiful, beautiful punt by Levitt. This is Parker. Just chasing it all the way back down to the 25. Makes the catch, gets to the 30, breaks the tackle, comes to the near side, then is flipped down, still tries to struggle forward, but the whistle sounds as his knee drags the ground at the 31-yard line. Outstanding punt by Courtney Levitt, and over the shoulder, pulling it down after a 54-yard effort by Levitt is Tennessee's Parker, and he was a strider too. Martin sets up, throws the pass, pulled down, caught at the 30-yard line by Jermaine Copeland as the play began at the 30, and Copeland was able to fall forward to the 31 in the grasp of Torrance. And so for Tennessee, it will be second down. The Volunteers lead 35-0. 35-0 is the score, as Tennessee will have it now second down and still, well, a short 10 yards to go. Tennessee using a lot of people on offense. The pitch will come to the tailback, Stevens, coming into the boundary, breaks a tackle as he scampers to the 34, to the 35, and is shoved out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Over to cover was the middle linebacker, Offing, who knocks him out of bounds as Tennessee needs the 41-yard line for the first. And the ball will be spotted at the 39. Good effort by Stevens, who showed some speed getting to the left side. Carolina adjusting its defense, getting more big people in, anticipating Tennessee's short yardage situation. And the Volunteers will line up now in the short yardage offense with 2 tight ends in the football game. The tailback is Stevens, and now Tennessee 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 misaligned. And the Volunteers will be asking for a timeout here as the Vols were lining it up on third down and about 2 yards, a little less to go. Tune in tomorrow to the only television show dedicated exclusively to volunteer football, the Philip Fulmer Parade. Some enthusiasm among it. This will be Martin, a little misdirection. He hands the ball off to Stevens, and Stevens wanders through the left side, shooting for the first down. This is Stevens to the 40, to the 45, and he serpentines his way forward for a first down. Alford made the tackle on him, but that was Stevens, who gives a different look, obviously, than Henry. Both are most competent. Stevens has a little quickness that juke back and forth ability builds.
They're both outstanding runners. I think either one of them could be playing for anybody in the conference. They're very skilled young men. Losing Jamal Lewis, of course, he's maybe just a little bit better than either one of them, but they're both outstanding.
Tennessee first down. Martin is going to throw a pass that's pulled down behind the line of scrimmage, and so is the receiver. As the pass was flipped out there to Peerless Price, he had one blocker in front, but coming up was Kevin Brooks, and so Tennessee keeps the passing streak alive, but for the second consecutive time, the pass build is completed for minus yardage.
Well, he's running up the numbers very well, you know, and he's just had an outstanding day. But made some good catches the receivers have for him. The offensive line has done a good job. The whole football team's helped him do it.
As you heard in the background, the referee has indicated there is an infraction on Carolina on the play. Pitch will go to Stevens, going the opposite side, gets the block in the corner, turns to the 45, down to the 40, penalty marker drops. Could have been a flip or hold on the right side as House is over to make the tackle after the apparent first down had been negotiated by Stevens, but it could be negated because of an infraction. Tennessee next week will play in the homecoming game at Knoxville with our broadcast to begin at 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central Standard Time. It's a hold against Tennessee on the right side, and perhaps that hold still gave him the room to get to the corner.
Yeah, well, very possible. I thought it was going to be a block in the back over there because it looked like one of the South Carolina guys just kind of rolled and let him hit him in the back, but nevertheless a holding.
Well, let's bring it up to date. The penalty is from the point of infraction, and it will move it back to the Tennessee 47-yard line. It becomes first down and 12. First and 12. Tennessee back to the I formation. Two receivers to the left side. As Martin looks to throw, pass is complete. Pulled down, breaking a tackle, staying on his feet. This will be Jermaine Capeless. Copeland has the ball to the 45, to the 50, to the 45, down to the 40. He's shoved out of bounds after picking up a first down Tennessee by Ray Green. Copeland coming into his own in this football game. On the year, he came in 10 receptions for 200 yards without a touchdown. He scored Tennessee's first touchdown in the football game. And on his career, he came in with 1,123 yards. Now in this game, 7 receptions, 72 yards for Jermaine Copeland. Tennessee first and 10, leading 35-0 at the Carolina 39-yard line. In motion, Tennessee sends a man from left to right. As Martin hands the ball up the center, comes Stevens, and he is blasted. Excellent reaction up front by that middle linebacker, Offing, a sophomore from Houston, Texas, and Stevens is stopped for no gain on the play. As South Carolina, Bill continues, I don't know that spasmodic is the word, but they make big play, then something just breaks down.
Yeah, and that was a big play on defense. Of course, what breaks down, I think, you know, John, it's got to be awfully hard to keep going at full 110% when you're down in this situation.
Tennessee leads 35-0. Second down, a little over 10 to go. Again, a man in motion from left to right of the I formation. And this will be Stevens getting the ball. And this time Stevens getting a little running room as he cracks through the line of scrimmage. He carries the ball past the 40-yard line, down to the 35 and on to the 31-yard line. And the official pulls it back, and they will spot it back at the 36, as I originally thought it should be, as he started to spot the ball at the 31-yard line. Sullivan is the man who makes the tackle. And so Tennessee is now faced with third down and something like 6 yards to go. Bill, here's a statistic we'll give in a moment that gives you the maturing of T. Martin. Tennessee to the line, third down long. Little offset eye left as Martin takes a straight drop. Waiting. Pass downfield. Complete. Ball down here at the 25 with the football. Peerless Price started to give ground, swerving to his right, trying to pick up a block. He was able to move to the 25-yard line. Enough for the first down as Andre Offing was able to stay with him. To this point, Bill, since halftime of the Georgia game, T. Martin is 44 of 51 in passing.
Wow, that is outstanding. Of course, he's put up some big numbers, put up some today, and, South Carolina just can't cover the Tennessee's outside their receivers without some help underneath from the linebacker.
It's first down, Tennessee at the 25-yard line. The Vols lead 35-0. Martin checks off against a four-man front. Fakes to throw, pass is incomplete. The streak is broken as Martin audibled at the line and throws the pass downfield intended for David Martin, and the crowd comes alive at South Carolina. The South Carolina fans, those that are left, happy the streak is broken, and Tennessee fans...
He's been right on the money with it, too, John. He's thrown some beautiful passes.
Tennessee to the line as the Vols lead 35-0 into the I formation with Stevens the tailback. Pitches to Stevens, needs a block at the corner, gets one but not the second. Good pursuit inside out by South Carolina, and Stevens will be dumped for a loss as Torrance is there. And Bill, this game shows Tennessee leading 35-0. Martin has gone all the way at quarterback, and it just underscores what BCS means in college football, as the rankings are so important in the selection of who finishes where people go to the bowl game, and margin of victory or difference is important.
Yeah.
Tennessee comes to the line, and South Carolina, Bill, asks for timeout.
I was sitting here thinking the very same thing, John, and that is not good for college football to have to keep people in there. Your first line people, when the game's out of control like this at 35-0, the younger people don't get an opportunity to play. You got to keep trying to pour it on them and run the score up. That's not a good part.
The delay handoff fake. This will be Martin stepping up with the run. He will run with the football. This is Martin. He has the ball at the 30, down to the 25, down to the 20, down to the 15, down to the 10, down to the 5, down to the 1-yard line, where T. Martin gives Tennessee the ball. First down, goal to go, as he races now for 30 yards, giving him on the year 237 yards rushing. He's over 1,000 yards passing, and T. Martin, Bill Anderson, is having quite a day.
No question about that, John, but the truth of the matter is he probably should be out of the ball game by now if it wasn't for having to keep putting on some points.
Tennessee lines it up. It's goal to go with Martin up under the center. Can he sneak from 1 yard? Not going to. Instead, he hands the ball off to Philip Crosby, and the junior from Bessemer City, North Carolina, pounds it home. Touchdown, Tennessee. And so Tennessee marches to score yet another time in this football game. The Vols lead now by a score of 41-0. At halftime, it was 21-0 as Tennessee marched to score in the waning seconds of the first half. Scored as they returned the opening kickoff, and then the 72-yard touchdown pass, Martin to Price. Now the Vols have edited again, and here will be Jeff Hall trying to tie as the all-time leading scorer for Tennessee with 317 points. The extra point is up, and it is Gouda. He's tied Bexford. And so Tennessee now will be kicking off leading by a score of 42-0. And South Carolina will be receiving. For the Volunteers playing in the offensive line thus far, Clifton, Josh Tucker, a junior, has played. Hamilton, Toby Champion, the sophomore from Humboldt. In Georgia, Rito has played. Dyron Robinson, Bernard Gooden, also Ethan Massa. Open Husel listed. I doubt that this outstanding 6'8", 305 freshman from Martin will get into the game. Probably he will be taking a redshirt year. And for Tennessee, it will be Loudermilk to kick off. Jeff Hall has tied Bexforth for career points for Tennessee with 6 in this game. And it will be Robert Loudermilk to kick off. And deep will be Williams for South Carolina with 1:14 to go. That drive 69 yards, 11 plays, 5 minutes, 41 seconds. And this will be the kick by Loudermilk. It's going to be a bouncer. Skips up and is fumbled, then retrieved at the 19, 20, back to the 25 and to the 30-yard line. South Carolina with one of its up receivers taking the skipping kick by Loudermilk. And they'll put the ball in play, first down and 10 to go. And for South Carolina, we'll check the quarterback. My guess will be Petty instead of Anthony Wright. Wright playing his final game at Williams-Brice Stadium as this is South Carolina's last home game of the year. They came in 1-4 under Coach Brad Scott at home this year. Carolina will have the ball in the shotgun, and this will be Phil Petty. He's been intercepted 4 times this year. Tennessee spreads its defense against the spread offense. Pass across the middle, pulled down here by South Carolina's Zola Davis. Davis makes the catch to the 35. He's to the 40. He's to the 45, and Davis is knocked out of bounds by Gerald Griffin as he gets to the 48-yard line. Carolina Bill spread the field, and Davis came across to make his 41st catch of the year.
Yeah, all the way across Tennessee, playing a lot of people in there right now, and they...
Back to throw Petty, give and go downfield. It is incomplete. Intended for the speeding Fleming. Defended perfectly by the Memphian Andre Lott. He, 5'11", 180, a sophomore from Memphis, as Tennessee uses Edmonds, Griffin, Lott, and Grant in the secondary. Up front, Tennessee has Alexander, Ratliff, Green, Overstreet, Ramjur, Kemp, Westmoreland, the linebackers. Now this will be South Carolina coming to the line, second down 10, trailing 42-0. Petty sends 2 receivers to the left side, 1 into the right against a 4-man front. Back to throw, pitch comes back to Boo Williams, turning the corner, and then is forced out of bounds as he rambles past the 50-yard line and is shoved out just past Tennessee's 45 at the 44-yard line by Chris Ramjur. He from Maiden, North Carolina. So, Bill, as has been the case all year, Tennessee rotating defensively with a lot of people from start to finish, and now some more offensive linemen getting into the game.
Yeah. Well, they're playing everybody at this point, I think, John, and that's good if they can get them in there. And
Boo Williams now 7 carries, 56 yards for Carolina, as Tennessee defends with 4 down linemen. Williams, the tailback, on 3rd down, about 4 yards to go. The pitch will go to Williams. He starts left, cuts back, and battles his way. I think he made the first down, but maybe not. He needed to get the ball just to the 41. D'Angelo Lloyd from Charlotte, North Carolina, and another North Carolinian, Ramjur, team up to shove him back. And as they align the ball, it may come up just a bit shy. Perhaps a measurement will be required. The referee looks to the sideline and indicates that it's going to be 4th down. Go for it. Carolina trailing 42-0. And here come the trainers out onto the field, and the managers in South Carolina, Bill, may be discussing this decision, or that may be the end of the 3rd quarter, and that's what the situation is. 3rd quarter history at Williams-Brice Stadium. We'll take a break for your Vol Network station by telling you the score. Tennessee 42, South Carolina. Angled away from Gaines, and it will be corralled at the 15-yard line. Back to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, outside to the 35, outside to about the 40-yard line is Derek Edmonds. And Edmonds will be spotted at the 39 as Courtney Levitt is there to shove him out of bounds. A return of 25 yards, so Tennessee goes on offense. It has been Martin all the way at quarterback for the Volunteers. And as Tennessee comes to the line, it will be a freshman, redshirt from South Haven, Mississippi, Bernie Veazey. Talk about Martin's streak. Veazey has a streak. He is 1 of 1 in the air for a touchdown as he lines up under the center in the I formation with Henry at tailback. The Vols run a man in motion from left to right. The give is to Henry. Henry gets to the outside 40, 45, outside 50, stays on his feet 45, stays on his feet 42-yard line. He can play this game. Travis Henry, first down, Tennessee.
Yeah, he can, John, and he never. The thing about him is I don't know that I've seen a back that continues to fight and work his feet and fight for extra yards any more than him. He really gives it everything he's got.
And so that is a first down as Tennessee has a 19-yard pickup by Travis Henry, and the Vols lead 42-7 with Bernie Veazey up under the center. Henry stays at tailback, the fullback. Up before him is Bartholomew, and this will be he up the middle, breaks the tackle. He's got the football. This will be Bartholomew at the 40, down to the 35, down to the 30. He's finally corralled at the 28-yard line by Ray Green. And so for Tennessee, two great pruts. First, it was Henry for 19, and Bartholomew moves for yet another first down. Play action, rolling right, looks, throws downfield, complete at the 11, to the 10, down to the 7-yard line will be David Martin. Martin making the catch, and Veazey, Bill, came out of there with confidence.
No, he threw it right in there on the money, too. Nice throw, nice catch.
Ernie Veazey, 2 of 2 in his college career. And, of course, it was the streak by T. Martin, 22 straight passes in this game. Henry crunches to the left side. He hurdles forward and is crunched back as Hutcherson, the freshman, is there to blast him. But Henry was able to pick up some yardage as the ball has been moved close to the 1-yard line. Henry on the year has 2 touchdowns, and in this football game, Henry now has carried the ball for right at 66 yards. Tennessee lines it up, second down and goal, leading in the game with reserves playing 42-7. Same set, power I, wing back to the left, 2 tight ends. Up under the center is Veazey. Veazey, handoff, driving, hurdling, diving, touchdown, Travis Henry. Well, Tennessee gets his second unit into the football game. A lot of third units in there as well, as that offensive line is Josh Tucker, Champion, Robinson, Gooden, and Massa. And they open some holes, and the Volunteers, Bill, march for another score.
Yeah, he faked that play, rolled out on the bootleg, zipped that pass in there just like he's a veteran at it.
Well, he's perfect on the year. Bernie Veazey, 2 of 2, and Tennessee has another touchdown, and they've built the lead up to 48, and this could set the record. This could be the all-time scoring career mark for Jeff Hall. The kick is up. It's end over ending its way. We wait. We look. We see. Good! He has the record. Ball game. Boo Williams to the 5, to the 10, to the 15, and he is banged as he gets to the 19-yard line. And downfield covering for Tennessee, Andre James from Harmony, North Carolina, and Chris Ramseur from Maiden, North Carolina. And so, here comes South Carolina. The last time the Gamecocks moved downfield to score on the touchdown pass to Zola Davis from the quarterback Phil Petty. Williams-Brice Stadium was constructed back in 1934. Originally 17,600, now up over 80,000 the capacity. Not filled at this point in the ball game. Into the I formation with Williams the tailback, Petty up under the center, first down at the 19. And this will be Petty rolling to the near side, wants to throw but will run. He's at the 20, he's at the 25, get out of bounds, thank you. Up to the 32-yard line, it's a first down, Bill.
He got it out of bounds this time, too. He had 2 white shirts coming at a high rate of speed.
You're going to have a tough job with that Magnavox player of the game, Bill.
I think I already have him figured out, I think.
It will be first down, South Carolina. Tennessee leads by a score of 49-7. 9 minutes and 4 seconds to go in this football game. The Volunteers 6-0. South Carolina has lost 7 straight games coming into this one. Into the I against Tennessee's 4-man front. Petty now rolls to the right, throws the ball downfield, and it's overthrown, intended for the touchdown maker, Zola Davis, as Andre Lott was with him stride for stride. Incomplete pass inside 9 minutes to go. No, Bill, you cannot leave before the game is over. In case you...
I've left you a note here.
And this will be South Carolina. Up to the line on 2nd down and 10. Petty puts his team in the eye again. He's got Davis wide to the right. And it will be Fleming into the boundary left as Tennessee leads 49-7. Petty off play action being chased, giving ground, more ground, gets a block, now looks to throw. Tennessee still pursuing, and this is Petty throwing it upfield. It is complete. And it is grabbed maybe for the first down by Carlos Spikes, who is immediately hit by Granzow. There is a penalty marker down on the play, and Tennessee had one of the men pursuing him, pursuing the quarterback who took a wicked block, and he is injured on the play. Who goes what was 3rd down and about a foot to go, and he sneaks it up the middle, and let's wait and see. I think he got it. And it will be 1st down Gamecocks with 8:20 to go, and Tennessee leading by a score of 49-7. Carolina came into the game 1-7. They have 2 games left on the year, both on the road, at Florida and at Clemson. Tennessee, of course, will be playing UAB in homecoming next Saturday in Knoxville. Williams is the tailback as Petty off play action fakes to throw, being chased, eludes one man, throws the ball downfield, and it's going to be incomplete. As the defender, who was for Tennessee this time, Dominic Stevens. Petty hands the ball off to the tailback, and on the draw, this is Boo Williams, who tries to escape the onrush of Austin Kemp, but Ed Butler is there to help Kemp and make the tackle. For Kemp, his 9th tackle of the year, and Butler getting a chance to play because Tennessee's Fred Weary, as we mentioned several times during the game, out with an injury, and he is not on the trip. So Tennessee now has used Ellis, Alexander Lloyd, Coleman, Ratliff, Butler, Walker, Green, and Matt Gooden from Inglewood is in there, Terry, Granzow, Overstreet, and Jackson in the defensive force. Into the I formation. Granzow plays some at linebacker as well. Pass is going to be incomplete as somebody made a great break, and that's Gerald Griffin to swat the pass intended for Zola Davis down. It's down to 7:14 in this football game, with the score 49-7, Tennessee leading. In the game, Carolina as a team with 2 quarterbacks, being Wright and Petty, are now 13 of 26 for 209. Tennessee with 2 quarterbacks, 24 of 25. That's correct. Tennessee 24 of 25 passing for 341 yards. This will be on 4th down and about 8 yards to go. Petty out of the shotgun. Petty fading, looking, pass downfield, complete to Zola Davis, who made a fine cut in front of the defender Griffin and makes the reception. And Zola Davis, in his final appearance, has given South Carolina a first down at the Volunteer 42-yard line. The one scoring drive for Carolina in the game, which trimmed it down to 42-7. And then Tennessee, with reserves playing, marched crisply downfield to score to make it 49-7. Ball at the Tennessee 41-yard line, as Carolina comes up against Tennessee's 3-man front. And this will be Petty rolling right, pumping, looking, throwing the ball downfield on the hitch and go, and it is incomplete, overthrown. As Tennessee had Zola Davis well played with Gerald Griffin defending stride for stride. And the pass goes incomplete at 2nd down 10, Bill.
That was good. Inside, outside on him, and that really had no chance.
Tad Golden teamed up with Gerald Griffin defending for Tennessee. The clock stopped with 6:33 to go, and Tennessee leading 49-7. The Volunteers hoping to capture their 7th consecutive victory of the year. Into the I formation, Mixon is the tailback in there. The man in motion will be Spikes from left to right. Petty rolls out looking for Spikes. Pass is thrown over Spikes, incomplete. He rushed it. I really don't know why. Not that much pressure there, but the pass goes incomplete. So here it is, 3rd down and 10 yards to go. South Carolina is coached by Brad Scott. His record 23-29. He succeeded Sparky Woods, who coached from 89 to 93, 24-28 his record, who in turn succeeded Joe Morrison. And Morrison from 83 to 88 had a record of 39-28. Richard Bell 4-7 in one season. Jim Carlin from Cookeville, Tennessee, had a record of 45-36 in his 6-year tenure. D'Angelo Lloyd has returned to the game for Tennessee. He's with Alexander, Gooden, Granzow, Stevenson, Jackson, and Kemp up front. Carolina out of the shotgun. Back to throw, Petty. Petty with time. Downfield pass is complete. Pulled down by big Jamal Kelly, who makes the catch, and I think it's going to come up a bit short of the first down. As they align the ball, we'll have to wait for forward progress to be marked. Tad Golden, the freshman from Lithonia, Georgia, got over and gives it off this time, and crashing over the right side comes Steve Mixon. And Mixon from that middle in the line of 3, lined up behind the quarterback, gives South Carolina first down and 10 to go at the Volunteer 28-yard line. Granzow, he is there to make the tackle for Tennessee, but Carolina continues to roll. The score is 49-7, Tennessee over South Carolina, as it will be outstanding receivers. And back to the I formation against a 4-man front. First down. Petty hands off with the ball. Bo Williams tries to get to the outside, does, but he was forced a bit wider than he wanted to go, as it was Judd Granzow who forced him wide, and then he's forced out of bounds, but he did pick up some yardage, a couple of yards on the play, actually closer to 3. So make it 2nd down and 7 near the Tennessee 25-yard line. It will be for South Carolina. Boo Williams now, 10 carries, 64 yards. For Tennessee, Travis Henry, 10 carries, 66 as far as rushing is concerned. And Stevens for Tennessee has carried the ball in the ball game 12 for 47. So Tennessee's gotten over 100 yards at the tailback spot with 2 players. Back to throw Petty, being pressured. Petty gets time, throws downfield. Somebody might have got a hand on the ball because it goes out of bounds to the right side, as Tennessee came with pressure from the back, as D'Angelo Lloyd was there, and the pass goes incomplete. So it becomes 3rd down, still 8 yards to go. Next week, Tennessee plays UAB, of course, coached by a close friend of mine and a former outstanding player and coach at Vanderbilt, Watson Brown. And we'll have the broadcast of that game between Tennessee and UAB, as UAB is playing tonight at Northeast Louisiana. They come in with a record of 2-5. 3rd down, 8. Shotgun. Petty with time. Pass complete. Good cut, and then knocked out of bounds after making the catch. Inside Tennessee's 15-yard line is Ben Fleming by Andre Lott. Handing it off to Boo Williams. He has stopped. Somebody penetrated beautifully, and it was Will Overstreet, freshman, Jackson, Mississippi, dumping him, Bill, for a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, you don't get him many times in the backfield like that. He really popped through there clean.
Will Overstreet is a true freshman, as Tennessee has used defensively Teddy Gaines, Will Overstreet, Bernard Jackson, Tad Golden, Willie Miles, all true freshmen. And that's it for Tennessee as far as true freshmen are concerned. Here comes Carolina trailing 49-7. 2nd down, 12 yards to go for a first down, 14 yards to go for a touchdown. They're in the I formation. A lot of people come after him. Petty gets time. Pass down into the end zone is incomplete. It was caught, but out of bounds, as Tennessee's Gerald Griffin was defending on Zola Davis, and Davis has the 1 touchdown of the football game for Carolina. Very, very close there, Bill, but both feet out of bounds.
Yeah, good call with the official. Pretty good coverage, though. Of course, that's the reason he had to lead him so much out there. Tennessee had a defender right on him. 3rd down upcoming, as Carolina's 11 of 16 on 3rd and 4th down tries. Tennessee 10 of 11 in 3rd down attempts in this game. Here it is, 3rd down, 12. Out of the shotgun, back to throw Petty with time. Pass downfield, complete. Touchdown, Carolina, as it goes to Jermale Kelly. Running a route from left to right across the middle. He diagonals to make the catch and falls into the end zone. And so Kelly makes the catch. That will be his 2nd, change that 4th touchdown of the year. And for Carolina, they cut the gap with and very short. Tennessee under the ball at the 20, 25, 30, 33-yard line will be Willie Miles, the freshman from Fort Worth, Texas. And so the Vols, with 3:51 to go, once again on offense. T. Martin has played throughout the game.
The give goes to Stevens, cutting left, and he's going to be, well, he was almost dumped for a loss. Just sheer effort gets him back to the line, maybe a half yard on the play. As defending was Larell Johnson, the freshman from Tampa, Florida. Tennessee has another running back on the trip. Of course, Jamal Lewis is out for the season with the injury. He was certainly one of, if not the leading rusher in the Southeastern Conference before the injury. Then Stevens and Henry have played. Kirsten Biggers, who is a freshman from Nashville, is on the trip, but probably will not see service. So Tennessee goes with Stevens and Henry pretty much in this game. And it will be for Tennessee second down, a short 10. Veazey with a long count, using as much of the clock as possible. Hands the ball off to a catapulting fullback, Crosby. And Philip Crosby is able to move forward, Bill, to about the 35-yard line.
We got almost everybody in there, but not the coach yet.
And so it's going to be third down, and still for Tennessee about 8 yards to go. Leverton has had one punt in this game. It was for 27 yards. A bad punt? No, a great punt. It was down inside the 10-yard line. And so Tennessee just standing in the huddle. The play clock ticking away, and Tennessee's happy just to let it tick away, leading by a score of 49-14. Travis Henry back in there for Tennessee at tailback. On third down, about 8 yards to go, gets the pitch, wants to get to the corner, slides inside, now coming back to the near side, this is Henry. He's to the 35, to the 40, to the 45, to the 50, to the 45, just runs through a player down to the 39-yard line. He was tackled by Sullivan. Actually, he just bumped Sullivan, and they fall down together. But Henry Bill started left, shows more speed than you might suspect as he reverses his field and goes for the first down.
Yeah, he's running out the clock. They're running a sweep over there, and he turns it back, comes all the way across the field. I don't know who tackled who on it. It looks like Henry hit the defensive back. He just pounded into him, and they both went down.
26 yards on the play by Travis Henry, the sophomore from Frostproof, Florida. 14 carries, 75 yards now for Henry. He stays at tailback on first down for Tennessee. 1:50 to go in the game, and Tennessee gives the ball off to the fullback. A big Philip Crosby finds a little hole at the left side over guard, and he moves for a gain of a couple. He's tackled there by Harney. Tennessee leads by a score of 49-7. We invite you to join us next week for the broadcast of the game. Homecoming 1998. Tennessee plays UAB in Knoxville, and we'll be on at 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central Standard Time. Also, we invite you to join us Thursday night as basketball season opens for Coach Jerry Green and the Volunteers. We'll be on at 7 o'clock as Tennessee plays an outstanding all-star basketball team of former collegiate greats, the California All-Stars. That's Thursday basketball on the Ball Network. Into the I formation for Tennessee on second down and 8. This will be the give. Kept, it's Veazey turning to the corner, and this is Veazey on the bootleg. Veazey turns the corner to the 35. He's down to the 30, and he carries the ball down close to the, well, it will be marked at the 28-yard line, where Stamper follows to make the tackle, but Bernie Veazey, Bill, moves to the left side.
Yeah, he can run. He comes out there, the guy's got a lot of confidence. He's thrown the ball well, and he looks pretty good.
Tennessee now has Neil Johnson. He's just going to go with 36 seconds to go to the knee. Veazey to the knee. And that could well tell the story. As the Volunteers of Tennessee come to Columbia, South Carolina, with a record of 6-0 overall, 4-0 in Southeastern Conference play. Carolina comes in 1-7, 0-6. As the Volunteers roll to victory number 7. Tennessee 7-0, Carolina now 1-8. In the league, Tennessee leading the Eastern Division 5-0. Carolina drops to 0-7. As the fans count it down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 49-14. The Volunteers of Tennessee come to South Carolina and defeat the Gamecocks by a score of 49-14. Tennessee scored first by recovering a fumble, then marching 49 yards in 7 plays, and the Volunteers go up 7-0 on a touchdown pass from Martin to Copeland for 21 yards. Then Tennessee scored, capping a 78-yard, 8-play drive on a touchdown pass from Martin to Wilson of 2 yards. Tennessee 14-0. Then with the clock counting down the first half, Tennessee marches 92 yards, 10 plays. The touchdown this time coming from Martin to Price, and it's 21-0 at halftime. In the second half, Tennessee takes the kickoff, and 59 seconds all it took for the Volunteers to get on the scoreboard again. This time, a 72-yard pass and run from Martin to Peerless Price, and Price gives Tennessee a 28-0 lead. The Vols then march 54 yards in 7 plays, and Sean Bryson crashes in from 6 yards away. It's 35-0. Then it's Crosby who caps a drive of 69 yards as he pounds in from a yard away, and it's 42-0 Tennessee.